What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversation. We are here on Black Men Can Talk. What is up, gentlemen? Talk to yourselves. Talk it out. What's going on? Introduce yourselves.
We are good, if not great. First of all, thanks to everybody for tuning in, and holding space with other Black men. I appreciate love that piece. I am Sadat, aka Paul from Black Men Can Talk, the podcast show that's new, growing, and going there in places and spaces. That's
Okay.
where we at.
Well,
All
we
right.
had Kofi for a second. He'll be back, but for those
Listen.
people who don't know what Black Men Can Talk is all about, it's a show where Black Canadian men come together to have real, unfiltered conversations about life, culture, and community. So we jumped out of the box last week. We just did it raw. So as I told people, things are now, as I said, you're going to see improved things. One of the improved things is that Kofi Morris is here. He wasn't here last week.
Ooh.
So, Mr. Morris, are you here with us? He's fooling around. Can you hear us, Kofi?
Do you hear the words out of my mouth that I'm speaking?
He can't hear us yet. Okay.
That's all good. That's all good. So, Dr. Vibe, how you doing? How was the week? What's going on?
Well, it's been an outstanding week in so many ways, having some really amazing conversations this week with a lot of different people. I'll just say I was on a 3-hour conversation in the last day or two talking about all different aspects of life. People give one or two people give me suggestions about conversation topics about this show. I had a long conversation with a Black Canadian queen talking about Black men, this and that. So that was cool. Actually, another conversation host called Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, they were encouraging me to get off Twitter because of all the toxic messaging, especially because of the election. So they suggested that I join this new platform called Blue Sky. And I heard about, so Blue Sky is less toxic than Twitter. It's a safer space, and it was actually founded by the same gentleman who founded Twitter, Jack Dorsey. So I spent some time, joined Blue Sky. I'm going to see what it's all about. So think about Twitter, less toxic, and they even have Black Blue Sky on there, a Black Blue Sky users group on Twitter. Let's give Kofi another try. Can you hear us now, Kofi?
I can hear you live and direct.
Okay, you are on. So myself and Sadat need to shut up because you haven't said a word on this platform yet.
Check in, brother. Who are you?
Absolutely, yeah. Kofi co-chair checking in. It's been a beautiful weekend, and looking forward to a powerful show today. We have some special things happening in the space. So I'm here representing Black Men Can podcast, and looking forward to an amazing journey with you all, the viewers, everyone who's checking in. I'm looking forward to hearing where people are checking in from.
I don't mean to talk your business, bro, but you weren't here last week, so we want to know where were you at?
You ditched us.
Where were you, bro?
No, never that. So no, definitely I was on the journey continues relative to healing work and continuing to sharpen the blade, as it were, relative to the work that I'm doing in community as well as the health coaching healer. So I was on my way at a healer's retreat, certification training retreat. So I was away in Florida, with a group that I've been doing some work with for the last 2 years, and again, just connecting with folks from all over the country, both the U.S. and Canada.
Nice. You're doing the holistic work.
So I just returned back and looking forward to sharing some of the gems.
Give us one of the gems. Give us one of the gems.
Oh man, there's so many. The one thing I think I'll share is that the whole piece around healing and self-care and things of that nature. We think a lot of it as an individual journey, but there's a collective healing that takes place when we come together with positive intentions. And that's one of the things that we were able to really acknowledge, that regardless of where in the country we were coming from, we all came with the same intention. And whether it was reasonings by the fire, or times we spent on the land, connecting to Mother Nature, and the elements of nature. Just talking about our experiences and how we can better, support our communities. But it starts with self. It starts with how we're caring for ourselves and the space that we're creating for our own healing to be able to support and help others. So that was a big part.
So let me ask, and I've traveled to indigenous lands before and culture. How much alignment is there, in your opinion, between our culture and their culture?
There's a lot. There's a lot. There's so many things that are it's not essentially the names are different, but the elements are the same. Right? It's kind of looking at the themes of things and seeing how all of them interconnect, and they just have different names. We recently were doing a rites of passage, and we came across two large totem poles on the land that we were doing work in. We were just connecting the connection between totems and clans in African societies, in traditional African societies, connecting day names, right? Young people that young people that have gone through rites of passage in Toronto specifically, they all received their day name, and their day name is connected to particular personality types. So all of these things are very connected to the totems and clans in the indigenous groups throughout Canada and the Americas. So it's like you look at the two and you see so many similarities. It's recognizing that all come from the same source.
Nice, nice, nice. And I want to, as you even mentioned that about culture, culture is my thing. I want to give a shout out to 8 young, beautiful boys, man, ages 13 to 16. Kofi and I had an opportunity today to do rites of passage with these 8 young men. They blew us away, like just their connection, their minds, their intellect, I mean, and just their insights around, being so young, but being so connected to each other. So I want to give out a shout out to those folks, also to our family, Tugs, Brother Tugs, who also led the session. But yeah, look out for those things coming in community. Rights is returning to community. So it was great to have that session, right? So
When's Tugs coming on?
Yo, he's coming, man. He's coming.
Okay.
He's like Kofi. They got hot feet. They like to travel around, but he's coming.
They're on tour like a certain artist that was in Toronto for 3 days last week. We won't mention that name.
Listen, they're on tour, right? So we'll get him on there. He says he's coming on, so I'm gonna hold his feet to the fire and his word. So he will be here. Tugs will be here.
Okay. All right. We'll receive that. We'll receive that. So we're excited. Again, people communicate with us, and throughout the conversation, I'll put contact information for all of us. And if you have anything to say, we did have a great listener last week who emailed me after our conversation with a number of topic conversations, and that was beautiful, because when it comes from you, it just means it's so much better. We don't want to be driving the ship, we want to be steering the ship.
Ooh, love that.
So it's really, really important. Let me ask, are you gentlemen at all getting ready for Kwanzaa season? It's not that far away.
Ooh, for sure. I mean, listen, for me, more than putting Kwanzaa on, I just love going to Kwanzaa, right? In community, in people's homes. I'm going to give a shout out to Acha, because I know they're hosting a Kwanzaa on December 7th that I really plan to attend. So that's in Toronto at the Sea Center, 75 Thermos Road. We'll get them in next week or so. Or sometime we'll get them in. They can talk about it. But yeah, December 7th, look out for that. I'm really looking forward to that Kwanzaa.
All right. Okay.
100%. Even today, and I think he might plug it today, but even in the Scarf Out studio today, I was looking at some of the items there. They have a Kanara there for sale, right? So we're getting into that mindset. If you haven't already purchased the items that you need, for your Kwanzaa table, now is a good time to connect with those folks who are vending those items. So Scarf Out.
Okay, well, before we take a quick little break, hey, if you want to subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show, any of the content that I produce, please subscribe on YouTube. We're getting close to 1,700 subscribers, so we'd like y'all, if you're up to it, to push us over. Also, follow the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And if you want to advertise your business, product, or service on this platform or any other of the platforms, please feel free to email me, dr@thedrvibeshow.com. So, we've got someone. All right. Good evening, Frequency Event Promotions. Greetings and salutations. Great to have you here. All right. So what we're doing, we're going to be doing a quick little 30-second break, and we're going to have our first friend on the platform. First friend. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. Keep it locked.
Hey, Dr. Vibe, this is Nigel Gordyke checking in from Waterloo in Southwest Ontario. I love your show, especially how it takes conversations that we're having in the community and expands them into the broader community so more and more people can get involved and engaged. That expands on the topics and takes them to a wider audience. And it enables more of us to feel engaged and part of the community. Thank you for including me in one of those conversations recently. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Much love.
All right. Thank you, Nigel. Great guy. I'll just leave it at that. If you want, go in the archives and watch. But I'm going to hand it over to Paul to have our first friend on Black Men Can Talk. Paul?
Hey, there we go. So excited to have our first but not last guest. So our guest is Christopher Catchafire Looney, who's a social entrepreneur, a business person, a chef. I know the chef. When you hear about the chef and the things that he does, YouTuber, podcaster, all around friend to the show, friend to the community. He is the CEO of Honey Guru, aka I call him the Honey Guru. He'll let us know what that means. So without further ado, let's give it up to Chris, aka the Honey Guru, in the house. How you doing?
What is up?
I am blessed. How are you guys doing?
We are great.
Namaste to the community.
Fantastic. Great to have you on. How's your day been?
It has been amazing. I would say it was a productive day. I had a few projects that I am working on, and I was able to get it completed. Some tasks that I'd set for today, I got to get it done. So I feel good within myself that self was able to complete what was given. So that alone give me a good feeling and help me to propel to get on now for tomorrow, knowing that tomorrow will be a even more successful day once I get to it.
Nice. Wonderful. Yes, right away. I'm going to ask you, brother. You know, what I mean, let folks know who's the Honey Guru. You know, why do they even call you that? What does that even mean?
So namaste again to the community. I am Christopher Looney, a social entrepreneur, a Honey Guru Inc. It was my love for cooking that has allowed me to discover the countless ways to use this natural sweetener in my kitchen. From grilling to roasting, honey can be used in just about any recipe. And being so excited with the product, I got to fall in love with it. And then because of that, I get to want to experience with the product and see how could I use such a product that is underused and person don't understand the product itself and how much benefit it contains. So doing that, I started the business. I got into honey because I went to Jamaica about 2020, just right before COVID started. And my elder brother, he started an apiary and he wanted someone to partner with. And he said that he wanted to do something different where we can leave something back for family. I thought it was a good idea to jump on that venture. So I came back to Canada after the vacation and I started researching in honey and seeing how I could get the product here to Canada. So after looking into that, I realized that the time period and the fact that honey is a seasonal product, I wouldn't be able to get it all the time here. And then one another factor that we're just starting, I started looking now on the end that for you to truly benefit from honey itself, you need to consume it locally. So I went ahead and looking for local suppliers and see how accessible it would have been. And luckily, I was able to find a few of them that would have able to supply me with the honey that I need. And then when I look at the procedure and the techniques that they use would have been in alignment with what I want to portray for the brand. So then it allowed me now to look at not just wanting to bring honey itself, but then to look at how could I use the product again to show its versatility. So I then infuse it with other herbs and spices, which brought us to 3 of the flavors that I know currently have on the market and also on my website is the Immune Booster. Immune Booster has garlic, ginger, rosemary, and mint. That one.
Hold up right there. You got to stop because see people, you're losing people.
Yes.
Honey has what in it? Say it again.
So it's infused with herbs and spices. This is my Immune Booster. And the name alone speaks for itself based on the reviews that I've been getting from my customer and how the product sells. So I've infused it with garlic, ginger, rosemary, and mint. Now, all these herbs, when I did it, I didn't understand the power of the herbs and what type of herbs I was working with. Because again, these were things that I never did before. I just asked Source for something different. I wanted to be challenged to see that, what can I do while I'm here? And then these things came to me, and then the immune boost that came, I infused it with the garlic, ginger, rosemary, and mint. No, that one works perfect in your cup of tea. If you're coming down with a cold, some lime juice, a shot of white rum, you sleep for 2 hours. After that, you're Gucci. You can also use it in your salad dressing. You can also
hold on. You're what?
Yeah, you're Gucci after that.
Okay.
You sleep for 2 hours after that, you're Gucci.
So did you steal my dad's recipe? Because that's what he tells me when I have a cold. He gets me Jamaican honey, mixes it up with a shot of white rum, and it always works.
You're from Jamaica. I call that my yardman flu shot. It's my yardman flu shot, right? So when you have it, really, when you have it, and that's one of the reasons to why I believe the product sells itself, because the ginger and the garlic, again, helps to settle the gut. The rosemary kind of settles the stomachs, and it kind of help you to relax. So I believe it was a good combination that was given, again, only from source, because there was no way that I could have thought of to put in those ingredients together and to see the result and to see what the product is doing. The next one that I have is my triple thread. Now, triple thread has cinnamon, star anise, and nutmeg. This one goes well on your pancakes, your waffle, your Greek yogurt, some fresh berries and granola. You have a perfect treat right there. Next one is Fusion Fire. It has Scotch bonnet and chili flakes. Now, it's made with medium heat, not overly spicy, so that everyone who loves food is able to enjoy it. Now, your fried chicken, your chicken wings, a nice cocktail with some Hennessy, bitters, and orange juice. Your guests will love you. So, again, the product is showing how versatile honey is, and not to mention the health benefits that you'll get just by consuming the product. Again, I looked at that. Again, I'm getting it from suppliers. I'm not able to have it because I don't control if I have the product, so I couldn't put the business by itself. So again, my friends always like when I cook. So again, put two sauces together. Jamaicans like to jerk, Canadians like to barbecue, so I made my barbie jerk sauce, which was an infusion of both cultures for me. I didn't make it spicy. I removed the spice because the market I was catering to I know that wouldn't love spice. So there comes my ketchup fire pepper sauce. I put honey and I also put pineapple. So that kind of tapers the heat from the Scotch bonnet, and you have a sauce packed with flavors and not so much heat. So the more you add to the barbie jerk sauce would increase the heat content, but it won't change the flavor because it was made to go with it. So that would have given me the line of products to bring me to Honey Guru. Now, throughout my introduction into the market, customers keep asking me, why don't you cook? Why don't you cook? Because I've listened to them, I started giving them the food, and there became Noah Room, personal chef and catering services that came to life, which kept Chef Fire another energy was able to embody it, and now allowing my products to not only make these meals, now you can get to taste it, experience the product, you buy the meals, and then you also buy the product. So just having a wonderful time with that and seeing what more I can create.
All right. So I'm gonna kind of put this out there, right? As fathers or Black men or families, right? Sometimes the challenge, is creativity in the kitchen, right? Can you speak to, some of the creative ways that you've been able to kind of fuse some of the Caribbean foods and quote unquote the Canadian foods or other foods? Like, give us an example of the kind of fusion that you've been working on.
So one of the things that I love with Noah Room is that I catered basically to infusion. I understand that food is something that join each cultures together. And if I can build a brand and infusing cultures together, I'll be able to speak to every culture. I'll be able to appeal to them. One of the main products that I have now that is about to take onto the market, I've introduced it, is my jamosa. I currently have 3 flavors. So it's a cross between samosa, and then I've infused my Jamaican jerk chicken in it, which makes it now jamosa, a nice spin on it. That is stuffed with a nice jerk chicken, which is done in your barrel on charcoal and then filled in the nice pastry that when deep fried, give it that nice crispy taste. And then we paired it with a nice guava tamarind sauce. I can tell you that sauce, again, has been doing well. People keep asking if they can get it in bottle. The other flavors with it is ackee and saltfish. And I also have a callaloo and vegetable for my vegetarian folks who don't want to consume meat at this time. So there are 3 flavors that I currently work on. Another way that I, again, worked on my food is one of the recipes that I serve is my soya barbie jerk skewers. So that, again, I infuse my barbie jerk sauce with a soya spice, a paprika sauce, spice that is from Africa. Again, using the grill, the charcoal. I try to infuse the cultures and the technique that my ancestors used, that my great-great-grandmother would have used. And so those are the skills that I try to put in my food, along with the energy and the love that I understand that your food needs to get in order for it to be different from what others serve.
That's the secret. That's the secret ingredient right there.
Yes. Yes.
Honey Guru.
Yes.
Most people don't know.
Yes.
So, and I have a conversation piece, and Kofi, thanks for sort of segueing nicely. What does the title guru mean to you, and how do you apply that philosophy in your work, in your life?
Initially, when I started the company back in 2020, the main thought when I thought about Honey Guru was being the guru of honey, be able to use honey in all different ways so people could experience it. After connecting more to self and understanding who I am, Honey Guru now speak to me more as the term honey is mentioned in the Bible as abundance, and luxury. Guru is mentioned by a spiritual person who understand the whole thing that they possess. So for me now, Guru as honey is the spiritual teacher of abundance. That is what I try to bring to the people who I come in contact with, is just express more to them their possibility of them thinking that they don't have abundance, but just to be able to buy my product, to be in my present, that's abundance. So getting to be that person who gets to bring it through my brand, clearly explain why I am the Honey Guru, because that is what I believe in, connecting more, understanding, knowing that I am more than just self. For me, I see myself as a spiritual person having a human experience, so it's all understanding more that the brand is tied solely to who I am as a person, because I believe in clean, living free, and having an experience and trying to make each day beautiful and each day sweeter with honey. So every morning a teaspoon allowed me to get that sweet creativity and that sweet inspiration to go out and share it with the world.
Nice. Kofi, you have anything to add to this conversation? Because I know you Mr. Healthy,
It sounds like, I'm just thinking as you're talking, Honey Guru, it sounds like you've been able to merge your personal life philosophy with your business, your brand, what you're building was really great. And I find that that's one of the challenges a lot of people have. They feel as though they're this person. They can't merge this aspect into their company, their brand, for whatever reason, right? That it won't be profitable. It won't work for them. But it sounds like you've been able to do that, right? Can you speak a little bit to that journey? Like, how were you always that way? Was that always your perspective? Was that something that you grew into?
It wasn't my intention. Like, when I started the business, I didn't know that there was a little child in me who had needs and wants and want to be heard. I thought that it was all about making sure that my child, my mom, my family, about everyone being okay. And that person was screaming from the inside to go to work, to do this and to do that. I was not able to live truly, to express myself, to show the way that I'm feeling on the inside. Now, when you look at Honey Guru, especially when you come to see my booth in the market, it is exactly how I'm feeling inside. I'm able to capture on the outside, which allows me not to have to say nothing, but people just walk over to my booth because of the ambience and the way that they feel. So I get to do this again because I connect to it. I connect to it because it allowing me to bring the message to my people that we are more than just who they told us that we are. So that alone gives me the power. It gives me the opportunity. Growing up, especially in Jamaica, I had no understanding of what it meant to be a king when someone sees you and calls you a king, and what it truly means to embody that energy. I never understand what it meant to look like this. This is my power. This is my secret ingredients in everything I do, because this is magic. I can get to sit and I can get to think of something and I can see it happen in front of me within minutes. That is power I was never trained to have. So now all I want to do is sit with self and just think of things that are positive and stay in that brainwave. And then I just feel happy and I can get to go out and I can get to do what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve, and I can get to do that through my brand.
I love it.
All right. I was going to ask another conversation piece, but to segue to what you've just talked about, do you have any specific wellness practices or routines to help you stay balanced and focused?
For me, this is one that I wouldn't even say that. One thing that I must say along this journey was that nothing I chose. becoming someone who, I wouldn't even say that I'm a vegan, ITAL, which has now rooted into my journey, is that it shows me, right? Getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning without an alarm, that shows me. What do I do with that time? Write in my journal, meditate, get to the gym, make that a routine. Because once I understand that I don't have the wealth or the money as what we see in this world to invest in the brand how I want to, but I know that if I energetically invest in me, I can bring that wealth to me. So my spiritual, so the wellness part for me, again, it has rolled into the brand, because as a guru, the wellness has to be in it. I didn't choose it. It chose me, because I now understand why I eat certain food, because it's not because I'm hungry, because it's supposed to nourish my body. I now understand what's real food from what's fake food, and I understand what is for me, because this journey is for me to understand myself so that I can enjoy this world. Not everybody will understand. It's not for them to understand. It's for me to understand, know why I'm here, what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve, and I can't serve if I'm sick. I can't serve if I'm real, but I can serve in the God energy of source and my creator, because I eat naturally from source.
All right. So talking about eating naturally from source, I'm going to make a little challenge right here.
Yes.
My co-host and you.
Yes.
So I want everybody to name, the three of us are going to name one ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to see what you can make with the combination of the three that we have.
Okay.
I'm going to start with whole wheat flour.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dr. Vibe. Name one thing.
Chia seeds.
Okay.
Kofi.
Cinnamon.
Say it again.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Okay, so with the whole wheat flour and the cinnamon, that can either be a cake or it can be a chia seed cookie. I could look at that option with it. Is a cake or a cookie? I would look at that. Was the first thing that came to mind once and then I hear the cinnamon, so I was thinking a cookie, because I like crispy cookies, so I would make that.
Dope. Listen, right on the spot. Right
Yeah.
on. I think we should do another round of that. Like that was so quick. I would have been like chia seeds, cinnamon, flour.
Yeah. A chia seed, because you need the flour now for the base, right? So a chia seed cookie, right? The cinnamon, and then we just add a little lemon extra to it to kind of give it a little pop to balance that back. But that's what I would do.
There you go. There you go.
You guys weren't even seeing the lemon. You man just throw the lemon inside there.
Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead.
One of the things with me and my food, and you would have experienced it, Paul, is like I like layers and I like levels of flavor. You should not just taste one thing. You should taste like 3-4 different ingredients. And when everything meshes together, your palate is like, what am I having here? Like, just like when they had the codfish balls, the experience of their dancing and jumping when they had the balls, then when they combined it with the sauce, it was a different experience. So that's what I like to do with food.
I want to take this in a bit of a business direction. So as a Black man who's a successful entrepreneur, what are some of the key lessons you've learned about building a successful business?
One of this one that I took a long time to get it. I didn't even really accept it until this year, was that you need a community. Even like from day one, you need a community that supports you and is able to give you that little encouragement, that gives you to tell you that you can do it. Because even though, the beauty about this journey is that I was able to kind of self-motivate myself, which a lot of people kind of find it hard how I did it, but I was made differently. I'm not sure I'll be able to explain that, but that alone helps me to understand that if you don't have a community. And then today I was watching a show that it was about Black men again, and the father was teaching his son about chess, and he asked the eldest one, which are the major key players on the board is the most valuable, and one of the sons said the king. The smaller one said all the players on it is valuable, because you need those players in order to support the king. So you need that community in order to support the king. So that a community as a businessman, as you start, find somebody that you can talk to, that person put you on, and then you have that family, that support, and you're able to do it. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah. Love that. And that's a beautiful lesson, because usually people will be stepping up and talking about all this like stuff that's, I guess, individual. So the fact that you're starting on the level of community, I think definitely is a whole different way of thinking. Even mentioning that, let us know a little bit about, I know you have a weekly event that you do.
Yes.
Let us know about the weekly event that you do and how people can kind of maybe attend, support, know more about it. Like, let us know about your weekly event.
So my weekly event that I do is my Honey Guru Liming and Vibing. So what that is that we have a nice space at Eastone Plaza where it's a gem studio. You can come in. We have a nice boutique store at the front that you can get all my products on display. You can also get products from other local entrepreneurs in the community on display. Then you can take a nice little walk through the studio if you want to stop to say something, record something, take a picture, promote your product, sit with a business coach, sit with a financial coach, sit with a wellness coach, sit with a fashion expert. You can do that within the space while you're seeing me prepare your meal live in front of you, live cooking class, and you can dine and you can get financial wealth, business wealth that will make you better than how you came in. So that's what we offer every Tuesday from 3 p.m. until 11. We're there until December 10th. This Tuesday, we're having a live cooking class coming in starting at 9 p.m. And I'm doing some Ital Rasta pasta. You got to come through. I made it today because I was working on the recipe, wanted to test it, and it was beautiful. And I'm going to make it tomorrow again. So it's going to get better, and then it's going to be super ready for Tuesday. So you can't afford to miss it. Come on out, support it again. It's been able to create a space where the community, where our people can feel safe. You can get the information that you need to make you better. Because again, when you understand how the system is, how it was designed, and you can't do it just that way. I've seen my parents trying to do it that way, my grandfather trying to do it that way. So I've just decided to say that fear, I don't care what it is, I'm going to try it my way. This is my time, my world, and whatever it is, I'm doing it my way. So come on out, get to experience my way. Eastone Plaza, 2642 Eglinton Avenue East, upstairs Dollar Tree.
All right. We are hanging out with our first friend on Black Men Can Talk, Chris Honey Guru. I got a conversation piece. From what I'm gathering, and this is the first time I'm actually in your space, you have a very strong mindset. How important is mindset to your daily life and your business life?
It's the key driving factor. Like, from growing up, I've always had this deep down inside of me that I just gotta do it. I just gotta do it. Like, I've never stopped from wanting to do something that I felt. I've never understand the whole thing of what it was until now, when I understand mindset, how important it is. But I'm happy that my parents taught me the foundation of love. Because if you don't have love, you're not able to forgive, you're not able to forget, you're not able to grow. You have to understand love, and especially as Black men, I was able to have both parents. I was able to have a mother who was rough, but my dad was so soft that anything you do, he would cry. My dad, all he had to do was just to look at me. So that alone allowed me that love inside of me, which I realized that helped my mindset to realize that no matter what is going on the outside, there's always a safe space inside, because my family created that safe space for me. So that allowed me to not have so much easy trouble when I saw these things, and I write like, that fit better in my mind. So I've gotten to the voice where everything that I was taught, just like a hard drive, I took it out and I went searching for information that feels good to me. So my thoughts, I know, may not agree with anyone here, but it's okay. It's my belief. And that's what makes me happy, and that what powers my mindset.
Wow. That's deep.
Beautiful.
That's deep.
Yeah. I want to go ahead, Kofi.
The thing that came to my mind, when Honey Guru was speaking, is a passion in his voice about his business. The passion that's coming, which sounds like it comes from your heart. And even when you talk about your recipes and you talk about what's coming up and the event and all of these things, it's the spirit that's behind the work that you're doing that I feel like it's so important for people to remember, to not move away from their passions and their drive and their joy. Because a lot of people are in the 9-to-5 rat race, and they often put their passions to the side, the things that drive them, the things that would actually allow them to feel alive with that spirit that you're speaking from.
Yes.
If you had any words of encouragement for people that are trying to get into business, maybe young people, young men that want to pursue their passion, their talent? What is it that you would say to them?
One thing I would say to anyone who is having the thought of wanting to start a business, the time is now. There is never going to be a right time. There is no tomorrow. If you think of tomorrow, you're not ready. It's now. Once you're feeling now, then you just go. Because if you procrastinate to tomorrow, there's not going to mean there's another. We never know about tomorrow because tomorrow is not promised. If you're having the thought that you want to do it, and I can see that people may think that finances may be an issue, but I can prove it again. When you believe that, again, when you understand what money is, when you understand that the world that you're in, your father said that you're a billionaire, means that you're not supposed to lack. If you don't have it, ask him and somebody will provide it. No matter what you need. When I look at starting the brand, I didn't have the money to start the brand the way that I wanted it because I wanted my labels a specific way. I saw it how I wanted it. No one could get it. But I sent it out to universe that how is it that you can't send me the person that I need? And I start believing that I'm going to get that person. That person popped up on me. When the program finished and I was supposed to pay, they said, I saw what you're going to do and I'm not going to charge you. Again, that's totally source. I never thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. I know that he's going to provide for me. And that's what I've been living on. I'm just knowing that he's going to provide it. And he sends it because his people are there to serve me. Because I chose to come back here. So when I call on him for help, they're going to show up to help me. So it's knowing that my ancestors want me to win. It's their desire. They did everything else for me to be here now and be happy. So why should I be here and worry when my ancestors worry? It's not my time to worry, and I shouldn't worry. I should be here to having a human experience. And that's what I get up every morning hoping to do and wishing to do and is doing.
Yeah.
All right, just to break, we got some comments here. Again, Frequency of Rempro says, hey, Dr. Vibe. She says, the walking and talking legend, Sadat Paul Osbourne. Also says, what's up, Kofi? Also says, what's up, Christopher? And SAIS says, I love the passion. I love the passion. That is good stuff. So you have this brand, Chris Honey Guru.
Yeah.
How do you develop it? And what advice do you have for others looking to create a strong personal brand?
Okay, so the brand itself, and I can tell you that it is split in three components because it's three different energies and three different personalities that I taken on. So Chris itself, Honey Guru, and then you have Chef Catch a Fire who knows work with the catering. So it's understanding the 3-in-1 from source that has given me this information. So the journey itself sounds a lot. Because now for me to get into that, I have to now get back to Honey Guru itself to get into that energy, to position it, even though Christopher has to guide, because Christopher is a shy person, like very reserved, very quiet, right?
What was that?
No, where Honey Guru came, because I remember my first job, like my boss telling me in order for me to stay under this, I had to put Vaseline on my teeth to smile, right? So again, it showed me that there are different personalities that when that comes in, it's like a different energy that comes in order to carry out the duty that needs to be done. Because I know I feel different when I'm cooking than when I'm working as Honey Guru, dealing with it, right? And then there's a different energy that comes in now when Christopher has to sit before everything just comes together. So that part of it, it's trying to understand it still with source, but I know that there are three different things that governs everything and how I feel with these personalities.
Gentlemen, I've got more, but I want you guys to drive the ship. I can do it.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, all right, okay. So then, what are the most important elements of creating a brand that stands out in today's food market?
One, I believe it is what we speak to. I think, in my personal opinion, if creating a food brand, you would create a brand that speaks to people. I wouldn't create something that speaks to a specific, like when I created mine, I didn't create it for Jamaicans. I created for the world. So something that applies to anyone. When you look at it, doesn't look like it's a Caribbean product. I wanted to appeal to the mass, but I wanted it to tune in to people who love to cook, to people who love to barbecue, who people love to barbecue and people who love to jerk. Again, those were the things that I looked at when I was creating it. And then what age group do I want to target for that market. So those were the things that I was looking at in order to create Honey Guru. So those were the things that I would say that if you're looking into food, I wouldn't say that I would create something just for our people. I would create something that's wide enough that our people also love it even more when they try it. I was able to do that again, and that is what has gotten me to where I am today.
So I have a question in regards to that, because we talk about, kind of like your origin story, right? And where you're coming from. So you had mentioned that, your background is Jamaican. You and your brother were starting a honey business. And then obviously you're here in Canada now. So what advice would you give to somebody who, they might be in the Caribbean, they might be in Africa, wherever else they are, and they have a product that they want to make a little bit more international, right? So again, you used honey. It could be whatever, product that's indigenous to the place that they're from. How do they actually, what advice would you have for them to actually make it bigger, take it out of the environment and make it more international? What advice would you have for them?
And one other thing again is this is where again you would have had a community, and then you would have need to have other business associate that you would have partnered with, and then they would have already been supporting your brand. So now you'd have had these reputable people behind you. Then now you can go now to the international market, or if you want to get it with a international supplier. One of the things that I would say, like especially here in Canada, there is this organization that is called Foodpreneur. Super happy for this organization.
Janice,
like the best.
Myself have been friends from birth.
Yes,
our family, my family, birth. So that's a great organization,
right?
100%.
So they would have gotten with a business that is there to help other entrepreneurs to scale their business. Now, if I wanted to scale my business and wanted to get into the grocery store, Foodpreneur would have helped me in order to do that. But I just believe in myself that my brand is not to be in the grocery store. There's another journey for it. So I chose specifically for it not to be there, as it would have been there. So that would have been one of the way that you would have been able to get it. If not, then you would have to go walk and knock on doors, make these calls and ask. You will get no. But then if it is yours, I know will turn in a yes.
Yes. Okay, wow. Thank you guys for that. That's definitely some new knowledge. I didn't know about that. Dr. Vibe, you're holding back the jewels and your connection.
I'm just a guy, just asked. So the comment from way back, and I don't want to get slapped in my head next time I see her. Nicole says yard band flu shop. She says trademark it. Frequency event promotion says the brothers' energy is top notch, and says Essie, I see you. I also want to ask about you. What suggestion do you have for people who are struggling to maintain balance in their lives, especially dealing with stress or burnout? Because it sounds like that could be something you are challenged with at times.
At times, and then that's where it comes back to self-care, and it comes back to how much do I love myself to know that this morning when I get up, I'm not in the mindset to deal with all the distraction that the world has to offer. I need 15 minutes to sit with myself, to breathe for a minute, walk in the grass barefoot, touch a tree, hug a tree, get myself back together to deal with the interactions of the day. So if you don't love yourself enough, you can be stressed. But when I understand again, what is stress? When I understand that my eye, my kidney, my heart, every organ in my body age differently, and stress added ages and minutes to that. So I have to take it up on myself because I love myself more. That no matter what it is, I'm going to take 15 minutes because we all have 15 minutes. We all have 10 minutes. Just that what it takes for self to just sit, breathe, close your eyes, and it just clears your mind. And then that helps me to deal with my stress.
Good. Just want to shout out Junior Bleary. Good evening. Right back at you. Subscribe. Gentlemen, I got more, but I'm waiting for you. If not, I'll keep on going.
You know, it sounds like you've been able to be able to strike a form of balance with your personal life, right? Your professional life, and the way in which you manage or balance or utilize your spirituality, right? Within all of this. You mentioned earlier about the inner child, and it struck me because it's a conversation we often don't have as men, right? We often don't talk about that piece. But sometimes you'll see grown men who are going through particular challenges that when they're hit with certain challenges, you see that there's something inside, there's something internal that they're struggling with. And sometimes that comes out on the hospital bed. Sometimes that comes out when, you know, they've gotten a call that says, you got to go check that thing out that you've been ignoring for quite some time, right? And I'm sure you've probably come across this as well. Kind of putting this out to everybody, right, in terms of what role the inner child plays, you know, in the current iteration of life that we're going through as men now in this, you know, 2000 going into 2025. Are we getting to a place where we're more comfortable to talk about the internal challenges that we're having, right? And are we in a space where we can now collectively start to explore some of those things as opposed to continuing to suppress them?
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Anybody can hop in there, you know.
Yeah, because suppressing it doesn't work. It only will allows you to be bitter. And then when I understand that only hurt people. So if you're suppressing it, you're gonna hurt somebody because you're hurting.
Yeah.
So when I listen to people and if they're spilling it, it's like you're hurting. So then we again, when we understand again, is that we're all here in this world. Each of us, even here now on the show, is having a different experience, right? So when you understand that each person is having a different experience, it allows you to be a little more sympathetic with people because you know that some way, I know that my mindset really is really different from the majority of people who are here now. So it allows me sometimes have to think that you know better, you do better, right? So it allows me to deal with certain things differently because I've had that experience and I know that it's not what for me. So again, when you've settled with your little inner child, you know your inner child is start speaking to you and you know have to treat it like a newborn baby that you're babying, right? You're going to have to give it the things that it needs in order for it now to flourish, for it to get better, because it's the only thing that you need to really serve now, right? So it's all inside here and you have to go within, sit with it, like listen to everything that it's saying. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. You're going to have, if you're really dealing with it, you're going to be crying. And like one of the things that we weren't taught as men to connect our emotions, right? If you're not connected to your emotions and your emotions are ruling who you are, you cannot be a king, right? So a king cannot be governed by his emotions. You have to be able to remove the emotions from it and to be able to deal with things as it should be justified, right? So it's getting in that mindset and knowing that it's not me. Again, when I understand that when someone lash out at me, speak ill to me, speak angry to me, it is not me. What inside of me triggers you so much that you're angry? No, I'm intrigued. And I'll sit and I'll listen to you because I know that it's not me. And then I embody the power of who I am because I'm a king and you can't take me off my throne. Not in this time.
So one of the things that you mentioned earlier, and I you know, as someone who's a father, and I found it intriguing, is you mentioned how your father was more outwardly emotional than your mom.
Yes.
Right. So, and I put this out to all of us, really. So, how do we buck those stereotypes again of Black men, Black father always having to be hard and not connected to our emotion or seeing our emotion as a weakness when we express it? Right. So how can we encourage our brothers and younger men, even boys, to kind of, you know, like move, you know, with their emotion and embrace that? What kind of advice would you have for men struggling with that, just, you know, showing emotions and being real to that?
There are two simple ways that you can start. One, the first and easiest way that you can deal with it is by writing it out. Get a journal with a pen and paper, sit with yourself, and everything that you feel inside, you put it on a paper because you don't want to have to say it to anyone. You put it on a paper. There's something different when you write it. There's a release that comes from inside and it's now there. You have a choice of now burning it and then just totally release it. But once you write it out, it's different. The next step that I'll say is talk to someone. if you have someone that you trust that you can talk to, or again, find a therapist, find a coach. We need to speak to someone to share the things that we're feeling with, someone that we can just let everything go and don't feel judged. Because that's one of the things why we're not able to share the emotions that we're feeling. We keep it inside because we think that we're going to be judged. And then when we're going to be judged, we're now thinking of what other people want to think, but who cares? When you think of that, your thoughts and what you think, it doesn't really matter. It's as long as I know how I feel, that's what matters. So once we can get them to understand that your friends' thought, your mom's, nobody's thought really matter in a sense where if it's negative and trying to break you down, you don't have to listen to it. But when you connect and know within yourself, truly again is helping them to know themselves. Because if we cannot break it, the way that we were taught to know ourselves, the way that the system is set in terms of the school, you are gonna be lost. You're gonna not know your emotions. You're gonna be fear of it. What you're doing with the rite of passage is a great way to get young men to connect to their emotions. Through that, they'll be able to identify who they are, writing more, journaling, and having that community and that support. We didn't have that. I didn't have that. So this will get them way ahead of their time. At the age that they're at now, when they get to our age, way ahead of their time.
I want to jump in. I just want to jump in and build on it then. How do you handle things when they don't go the way you planned?
Yeah. It's like, again, it started just in 2020 when I started the brand down by Eglinton Avenue, Little Jamaica. Shout out to Lori from the Afro-Caribbean Farmers Market and the Eglinton BIA. They came to me and they asked me, what would you like for us to do for you? I saw the Green Pea parking lot, which is right down the road in construction and everything, and I wanted to keep my event there. I asked if I was able to get it. Right in the middle of COVID, I got the space. I was able to host a one-night-only gourmet dining experience where I transformed the parking lot into a dining room. I had a lot of people who came out to support me, but the entire event rained. It rained there. There were so much issues on that day, and I'm still doing the event until today because it made me stronger. My takeaway from it was that they saw me only doing the sauce, but that experience that I create allowed them to realize that I'm not just a one-trick pony. That alone, the experience that I create there, you walk into that parking lot, you think you're in a 5-star restaurant. In the middle of COVID, I had my party there, a beautiful night with so many dignitaries and everybody there. That was just like a couple months after me opening. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. But I saw it in my head. Everyone told me like, you're going there, but I just saw it. And when I was able to create it, that didn't stop me again. Like nothing stopped me now.
That made me it's so interesting you said that because it made me think of a concept from this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where it says start with the end in mind, right? And being able to see where you're going, it's important to know your destination, right? Where you're trying to end up. And it sounds like it's something that vision has been something that has played a role in your life relative to your business, pushing things forward. But sometimes we don't know the how, right? We know we have a vision, we know where we want things to go, but we don't know all the little steps. Like, how is this going to happen? How if somebody was to say, Honey Brew is going to create this fine dining experience, in a parking lot, you'd be like, how is that going to happen?
All of my friends didn't know how. Nobody saw it.
But you saw it. You had the vision and you stuck with that vision, and then things started to come together in such a way. I'm feeling like, something like, having faith in your business, having faith in the gifts that have been given to us, to explore through our business plays a significant role in your business. A lot of people listening may not acknowledge those connections, but I just want to affirm that piece is to say, like, you have to follow your vision. You have to follow the dream that you have, that gnaws at you, that keeps you up at night, that challenges you at times. You have to follow that, even if you don't know all of the hows of how it's going to happen. You start making the phone calls, you start putting the information out. Like you said, tap into your spirituality and your faith to know that it will come forward, right? And put out what you want and ask for the help that you need. I think as Black men, sometimes we don't like to ask. We don't like to go out in that way. Feel uncomfortable, the uncomfortability and vulnerability that comes from not having it all together. But everybody went through it, right? Anybody who you can think of, that had been successful in business had to take those steps and had to go through those challenging moments, and have faith to know that they didn't have all the pieces together, but to ask someone. You went to organizations, you went to different businesses, you went to other people that were doing it already. You went to Lori, like people that were involved in spaces, to say, I want to do this thing. Can we make it happen together? Going back to what you said earlier about your community, tapping into your community. Some of those things are coming to mind as you're talking, and just seeing the importance of us reaching out and coming out of our comfort zone, following our vision, and that whole piece of starting with the end in mind. So I'm just affirming some of these things as I'm listening to what you're saying, and seeing the importance of people that are wanting to get into entrepreneurship to walk in that faith, even when you don't know
And and again, because I've really come to realize that for this time that I'm here, like no one is coming back to save me. Like I can't sit and wait on nothing or no one. Like nothing is happening. Like I have to do it now.
Mhm.
Like if you're really on the, like for me, that's what I get. Right? I am not sitting waiting, thinking that I'm going to be here waiting on a Christ that is coming back to take me home to heaven. Like that is not in my thought. My change and my belief, like for right now, while I'm here, I'm doing the best that I can and making sure that every human that I come in contact with, I leave them better than I found them. That is all that I care about, and nothing else that really matters right now. Because I'm not going to worry about things that I don't know about. What I know is right here, and I live within the moment every day. When I get out of it like a light switch, I flip it back and draw me back to now.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about nothing that is going to happen tomorrow or nothing later on that is like right now, because that's all that I have right now that I can deal with.
You go.
Okay.
So
We are the ones who've been waiting for it.
I have a kind of a, well, not a closing question, because I know we're coming upon the time, but in Jamaica we were saying that shoemaker never have a good shoe, right? So as you're the chef, what's for dinner tonight? Real quickly, what's for dinner?
I have some Ital Rasta pasta. I made it in just some nice coconut milk, cooked down, creamy and nice with my bell peppers, and it was made with chickpea pasta.
Okay,
So it's made with chickpeas pasta. All those 3 ingredients that is in it, again, because I cannot pay attention to the labels of what is on it, because I'm very serious about processed food. Because again, as Black men, we need to understand what is causing cancer, what is causing arthritis, what is causing us. All these ailments in our body is caused from one simple stuff, but adding it over time, right? So I'm very curious about that. I understand that I can slow down the process of aging. And my skin and everything, again, is the magic that facilitates it. So if I treat it right, put the right things in it, I'll be Gucci. I want to be Gucci.
All right. So I'll send it over to Dr. Vibe.
All right. So just some final things. Frequency Event Promotion says now, no opportunity wasted.
Precisely.
All right. So before we let you go, what's up next?
Next, it's a great adventure. I'll be keeping my birthday Awambe on January 10th, 2024. Come down with Honey Guru Jamaica. Look out for it. It's coming. My birthday party is in Jamaica. I'll be cooking up a crazy storm on the beach, Ital style, ancestor style. You can't afford to miss it. But this Tuesday, come out this Tuesday and check me out. And then let's plan to go to Jamaica. It's going to be amazing.
All right.
All right. Well, Chris, on behalf of all of us and the family who's watching live on the replay, we want to say thank you for all you have done, are doing, and will be doing. Thanks for being our first friend on the platform. It's an honor, and please keep us in touch. And I may have to nail you down for some of that pasta, because I know if I tell people about it, they're going to be hitting me up for it.
Yes, we're having it Tuesday. We're having it Tuesday in this space. I'm making it as cook. I'll have it for dinner, and I'm also making it for the guests who come in so they can get to sample it.
All right. Well, as always, don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourself grace.
Thank you.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Coming from my pasta Tuesday too.
Hey, all right. All right, gentlemen. There we go. Closing thoughts.
Well, you know what? Yeah, the guru was the guru for sure. And I like the fact that he didn't just focus on the product, right, but really focused on a holistic way of living, right, and being able to match your business and your passion, loving that. And I'm encouraging everybody else to do that, including myself. Match your passion and your business, and you'll be happy.
100%.
Anything
There's a
else?
saying that says, you know, there's I think it was Eric Thomas who spoke about this, but we're talking about the fact that he's saying I don't use an alarm clock. My passion wakes me up, and that quote always stuck with me. Just thinking about what is it that drives you? What is it that lights your fire? What is it that you know? Even when you're at work, working, doing your 9 to 5, this thing is gnawing at you and you're thinking about it. You want to bring it forth. Actually taking the time to commit to developing your brand, to developing the business, the vision that's coming through you is coming through you for a reason. So for me, it's one of the things that I'm walking away with, that's really on my mind is that how I can support others to continue to tap into that door, unlock that secret passageway that leads to the dreams and goals that people have in their hearts. The holistic health coach, life coach, a lot of the work that I do is helping people to see those things. But it's so amazing when you see entrepreneurs that are living that, and it's something that is keeping them going. I'm sure that's part of how he develops recipes. It's dishes that come through that creative space of listening in, right? And being able to channel some of these new ideas and visions that are coming. It says that in the next 10 years, young people that are involved in business, that are involved in seeking their career, some of those actual careers haven't even been created yet. Right? That in the next 10 years, the actual careers that young people are going to be pursuing, they haven't even been created yet. So where are they coming from? They're coming from people that are seeking a different way of doing things and actually following their passion for the vision that's going to come, to create these industries that essentially in some cases don't even exist yet. So imagine what that's going to create for us. So I'm looking forward to, as we collaborate in the business space as Black men and entrepreneurs, to be able to continue to support one of those businesses' vision to bring forth what's needed and necessary. Every business is created out of necessity. So what are those things that are needed for us, for our community now, that we can support with one another that we're building and creating? So I'm looking forward.
All right.
To the journey.
Good stuff. Isaiah says amazing conversation as always. And
Essie, that's our sister, man. We got to interject. Essie, that's our DK sister, right, sister?
Okay.
Love you, Essie. All right, go ahead.
No problem. I'll just add some quick things for Black men. For many of you, the quickest way you'll move ahead is ask questions. And also, most of us are figuring it out along the way, so don't feel bad if you don't know. And also, the more you know, the more you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave it at that. So, as always, if you want to get a hold of these interesting gentlemen, there's Kofi, Sadat, email, Instagram. There's Mr. Morris, email, Instagram. And it's on most of the platforms you're watching this live on the replay. That contact information is in the comment section. So don't say, "Oh, I can't. Can you just hold it on the screen?" No, it's in your it's in your comment section. So,
and presently, Dr. Vibe, before I forget, we're currently in day 2 of the 14-day health and wellness challenge. So this is a challenge that we've been doing as a lead up to our event on Friday, 29th of November, which is 2 weeks. So looking forward to this event. It's a natural health and wellness fair. So you'll see various different community businesses and vendors that are coming through, speakers that we'll be highlighting, an opportunity to connect in that space. But if you're being challenged with your health and wellness goals, this would be a great way. It's a free event, free challenge that you can tap into. We're on day 2, so you got like 24 hours to tune in for the 14-day challenge. So feel free to reach out to me. You can go to Possible in this group.
Sadat, go ahead and put it up.
Beautiful.
I can put it up right here. There we go.
There we go.
All right. So there's the
75 Thomas Road.
All right. Good stuff. So that is that. So let's say thank you to everyone who watched live on the replay. If you want to get a hold of me, there's a website, the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram at The Dr. Vibe Show, X/Twitter, which will soonly go away because I'm going to go to Blue Sky. No more Elon Musk contributions. Thank you very much. And email address drvib at the drvibeshow.com. And I think that is it. Oh, one next thing. Next week's show, we have Joseph Corley, a Black psychotherapist, talking about the loneliness of Black men. So that is going to be an epic. So family, I've had conversations with him before. It's get real. Bring your questions. Bring yourselves. Lady, bring yourselves. Joe is at the top of his game. He's based in the US, but this is a universal Black man subject.
Shay.
100%. So as always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions. And don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourselves grace. Sadat and Kofi, thank you so much. Finally, we get Kofi Morris on the screen. My goodness. Took a minute. Are you touring? Are you going to be with us next week?
I'll be here next week, brothers. Looking forward.
Everyone heard that. Everyone heard that. We'll catch you. Be well and keep the faith.